Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm coming with another video. This time it's going to be a Zoro Rush deck profile. This is the deck that won the poll that I made a couple of days ago on the Instagram page. And without further ado, let's get into the video. For the leader, of course, we are playing Zoro. It's 5 life, and basically the effect is done 1. So we give it 1 done, and it gives all of our characters 1000 attack. So that's pretty good. It's very simple, not much to explain. Let's put it there. I'm gonna start with the level 1s, and the best one that we play is Nami. It's basically our searcher on play. We look at the top 5 cards and get a straw hat from there. It doesn't have to be a character, it could also be like a straw hat event card, so it's pretty good. Next, we're playing 4 choppers. It's a 1 cost blocker. That's basically it. And lastly, for the 1 cost, we're playing 4 Otamas. Otama is basically one of our 2000 counter, so that's pretty good. And her effect is not bad. On play, we give one of our opponent's character minus 2000 power, so it can help us in cases like when our opponent is playing kit and they drop the 8 cost kit that you can only attack that. Yeah, that's basically it. So let's move on. Okay, now for the 2 cost, I'm playing 2 Sanjis, the one that are rush. If you give it 2 duns, it basically becomes a 4 cost 6000 rush, so it's not terrible. I'm playing 2 Bartholomew. This is a card that I'm testing because I feel like this deck is missing blockers, because I do play a lot of like 2000 counter, but later on in the game a blocker is better than the counter, so I'm trying with a couple of extra blockers to see how it goes, and so far they are working fine. And talking about 2000 counters, I'm playing 4 Brooks and 4 Gordons. Brook, basically on play, we give one of our characters 2 rested duns, so that's good. But mostly I keep it in my hand for the 2000 counter. And Gordon on play, we can place 1 card from our hand at the bottom of the deck and then draw 1. Again, that's also a very situational effect. We mostly want it for the 2000 counter, making it a total of 12 cards with the 2000 counter. And that's it for the cost 2. Okay, now for cost 3, playing 3 Robins. This card is pretty good. When attacking, when it has 1 done, we can knock out one of our opponent's characters with 3000 power or less. So we can give it 1 done, declare an attack, and we can, basically kill most of the time one of their low cost blockers, and then having an attack of 5000 either to another rested character or directly to our opponent's leader. So pretty good card. Then one of the best cards in the deck is gonna be Zoro Rush. It's a 3 cost 5000 and it has rush. Not much to say. We need to play 4 of this. Really good card. And those are our cost 3. So let's move on to cost 4. Okay, for cost 4, we're only playing 3 cards. It's gonna be Yuta. This card is basically gonna help us recover either like Zoro or Nami if we're gonna do a search, or Nico Robin if we need that, or Chopper if we need a blocker. But on play, we can add 1 red character other than Yuta from the graveyard to our hand. That is 3 costs or less. A pretty good card. Okay, now for cost 5, we're also only playing 1 card, well, 1 character. but it's gonna be 4 copies of the Luffy Rush from the starter deck. This card is amazing. It has Rush, right? And if it has 2 dons, it cannot be blocked. So it doesn't matter if your opponent has blockers, they cannot do anything against this card as long as it has 2 don, which would make it at 8,000 attack. So it's really good for closing games. So it's a really good card. And lastly, for the characters, I'm playing 1 Shanks. I honestly wanna bump this to 2. I might take one of the Luffy's, like the 5 cost Luffy. I'm still not so sure. It's just that I really want to play Chance. Playing 1, we sometimes see it, we don't, but for closing games, this card is really good. It cannot be blocked with blockers of 2000 or less. But the thing is that by the time you play it, your opponent might have like bigger blockers, especially if they are playing green. So this is something that I'm still testing out. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it at 1, bump it to 2, or cut it out completely. But it has helped me a few times, to be honest. But yeah, this is a card that is optional if you want to play another Bartholomew, like the blocker, or if you want to play a 3rd Sanji that has Rush, you can substitute this card for that. Now moving on to the events. For cost 1, I'm playing 3 copies of In 2 Years the Savodi Archipelago. It's basically another searcher like Nami, but it only searches for Straw Hat characters. It doesn't search events. But the thing is that it has a trigger, right? So if we get it from our lives, we can activate the effect and we can search for Straw Hat characters. And these 3 with the 4 Namis, we basically have 7 searchers. So we're always gonna have great consistency with this deck. Next, I'm playing 2 Diablo Jambe. Basically, this makes one of our Straw Hat characters or leader unblockable. So it's really good for closing games. And if we get it from our live, it knockouts one of our opponent's blockers with a cost of 3 or less. So a pretty good card, if you ask me. Then I'm playing 2 Gomu Gomu Fire Fist Pistol Red Hawk. Basically, it gives one of our leaders or characters for 4,000 power during the battle. Then we knock out one of our opponent's characters with 4,000 power or less. So this is a really good event. And lastly, we're playing one of the best cards in the deck, in my opinion, the Gum Gum Jet Pistol. Basically, cost of 4, we knock out one of our opponent's characters with take 6,000 power or less, and the trigger is basically the same. So it's a pretty good card. That would make the 50 cards. That's how I am playing the deck. If you have any suggestions, this game is fairly new, right? So if you think that there are some better cards that I could be playing, or there are other ways of playing the deck, please do let me know in the comment section down below so we can all learn. But for now, that will be all for the video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.